Tonight, 6 senior citizens have become the latest victims of COVID-19 in Jamaica over the last 24 hours, with 67 new cases. Jamaica received another 55,000 doses of the coronavirus COVID-19 AstraZeneca vaccine through the COVAX facility yesterday.
We now have to begin the second phase, which is to inoculate or vaccinate the 39 plus, say 40,000 persons that would be due for their second shot in the month of May.
The Women in Agriculture Revolving Bee project of the Jamaica Agricultural Society has received a $500,000 boost from CIBC First Caribbean. And the Sandals Foundation has completed another major round of renovations to significantly enhance the Alpha Institute's music program. Good evening. In a COVID-19 news update, 6 senior citizens have become the latest victims of COVID-19 in Jamaica over the last 24 hours. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, they are a 53-year-old male from St. Thomas, a 61-year-old male from St. Catherine, a 95-year-old female from St. Elizabeth, a 71-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 72-year-old male also from Kingston and St. Andrew, and a 91-year-old male from Hanover. The latest deaths pushed the country's death toll to 767. Another death was also reported under investigation. Meanwhile, 67 new cases of the virus were also reported, including 38 females, 25 males, and 4 individuals whose sex were not classified, with ages ranging from 2 years old to 101 years old. The new cases push the total number of confirmed cases to 45,212. The country also recorded 103 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 20,729. The active cases are 23,386. Jamaica received another 55,000 doses of the coronavirus COVID-19 AstraZeneca vaccine through the COVAX facility yesterday. The shipment was met on arrival at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston by Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton. It was organized by the World Health Organization, Pan American Health Organization, WHO/PAHO. After accepting the shipment, Dr. Tufton said this will be used to inoculate persons due their second shot in May.
We now have your second shot. So prepare yourselves to come out in May because we have it and we're reserving it for you. There's a place at the table for you in storage until your day comes for you to get your second shot. That's good news because I know there are a lot of persons who are concerned about getting that second dose. And I'm saying to the extent that you have that card that says you are due in May, don't worry about it, the vaccine is here. The other very important point to make is that it is important that those who must get their second dose actually take up and make the effort to get the second dose. Because there is a situation in other jurisdictions, and we hope not here, where persons have taken the first dose and believe that because they have the first dose, they are now protected, they don't need to take the second dose. Or they don't take the second dose because they may have had an adverse reaction, a fever and a headache, and they say, boy, I'm not going through that episode again. It is very important that we push and encourage and motivate and that all concerned appreciates the importance of taking that second dose.
Representative of PAHO, Dr. Bernadette Theodore Gandhi, said that this batch of COVID-19 vaccine is very timely.
This is the second shipment of vaccines to Jamaica under the COVAX facility and will support the excellent efforts of Jamaica in the distribution of these life-saving vaccines to its population who are most at risk from serious complications of COVID-19. The receipt of these vaccines today particularly is very timely as the region of the Americas launches its 19th Vaccination Week in the Americas, which is observed from April 24 to 30th, with the theme, Vaccines Bring Us Closer. This week, we in PAHO are urging countries to close the immunization gap that resulted in hundreds of thousands of children missing vaccinations last year. The decline in immunization was partly due to interruptions in health services because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The region of the Americas was the first region in the world to eliminate smallpox, polio, and rubella. But we are now seeing declines in immunizations, and we must reverse that trend, not only for the health of our children, but also for the well-being of our entire society.
She also said that other vaccination programs are affected as they seek to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic and urged persons to take the vaccine.
In 2020, in the region of the Americas, 18.2% fewer children received all 3 shots of DPT3 vaccines against diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis compared to 2019. Also in 2020, 13.9% fewer children received these doses of MMR1 vaccine against measles, mumps, and rubella compared to the year before. COVID-19 restrictions on movement contributed to fewer vaccinations. In addition, many people were reluctant to go to health facilities to request vaccinations for fear of COVID-19 transmission. Whilst we continue to maintain focus on the COVID-19 pandemic and the administration of COVID-19 vaccines to adults, we must also ensure that we maintain the gains we have made in the past by ensuring that our children also get their vaccinations according to the childhood immunization schedule. The arrival of COVID-19 vaccines will help save lives and eventually halt the pandemic. And I encourage each and every one of you to take the vaccine when you are called. The benefits far outweigh any risks.
Thousands of Jamaicans are in line to receive their second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine starting in May. Beverage company Wisynco Group Limited is continuing its participation in the Ministry of Health and Wellness's island-wide vaccination blitz exercises. The manufacturing and distribution giant has already donated some 30,000 bottles of its water, cran water, and Powerade products to 7 vaccination blitz centers in Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. James, Manchester, and St. Anne in a bid to keep frontline workers and persons receiving the precious jab hydrated. As tens of thousands of Jamaicans anticipate the arrival and administration of the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine to achieve full immunity against the coronavirus, Senior Medical Officer SMO at the Kingston Public Hospital, Dr. Natalie Wiley, asserts that proper hydration before getting the vaccine will contribute to the body's well-being. Dr. Wiley says while the vaccine is critical in the role of prevention and the response to COVID, it is important to remember other precautions during the pandemic, which includes, quote, maintaining that physical distance, regular hand washing or sanitizing, and doing whatever you can to improve your body's immune response, which includes taking vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, increasing exposure to sunlight, making sure that you maintain a healthy diet, and still try to get regular physical exercise, end quote. Senior Marketing Officer at Wisynco, Tamara Ward, says the company's participation in the vaccination exercises is one way in which Wisynco's COVID response team, instated in early 2020, have implemented support mechanisms for staff and Jamaicans alike. Minister of Labour and Social Security Carl Samuda has called on businesses to heed the urgent call by the World Health Organization (WHO) for sustainable health emergency preparedness. The minister, in his message for World Day for Safety and Health at Work, which will be observed tomorrow, April 28, has urged employers to invest in resilient occupational safety and health (OSH) management systems so that transformations are consistent with sound ergonomic practices for lighting, ventilation, and seating. Observation of the day will be done under the theme Anticipate, Prepare, and Respond to Crises, Invest in a Resilient OSH System. Mr. Samuda said the country's healthcare practitioners must be commended for their efforts to preserve lives. He also offered his heartfelt condolences to the families of workers who have died from the COVID-19 virus, emphasizing that occupational safety and health should not merely be treated as a response to known workplace hazards or threats. The minister said it should be a, quote, key ingredient in every organization's business community plan, end quote. Meanwhile, the minister appealed for responsible individual actions to defeat the COVID-19 virus. In other news, Assistant Commissioner of Police Clifford Chambers says a high-level investigation that has been launched into the conduct of a newlywed couple seen in a photo toting firearms will be widened to include other people in the photo. In the photo, a bride and a groom were seen kissing while brandishing an assault rifle and a handgun during a wedding reception reportedly held in St. James, which took place over the weekend. In the photo, men could be seen in what appears to be police uniforms and vests marked police. ACP Chambers confirmed that the bride and groom are active serving members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF. The Assistant Commissioner of Police also said that the other persons in the photo are in uniforms designated for District Constable uniform, which was clearly discernible based on the picture. So the internal probe that is being carried out will also include them as well. Additionally, he pointed out that at the end of an internal probe, he is certain that from the evidence that presents itself, a decision will be made within the context of the JCF protocols that govern the conduct of members. He said that once a breach of internal protocols has been clearly identified, the appropriate punishment will follow. Popular dancehall artist Popcorn has been charged with a number of traffic offenses. He is scheduled to appear before the Yallahs Traffic Court on June 3 to answer to multiple breaches of the Road Traffic Act after alleged unruly behavior during a routine traffic stop conducted by the St. Thomas Police on Sunday. The police reportedly intercepted Popcorn, who was reportedly traveling with his entourage in a 9-vehicle convoy in a section of Bath in the parish. The entertainer, whose real name is Andre Sutherland, was found to be in violation of several aspects of the Road Traffic Act and was hit with several charges, including driving an unlicensed motorcycle, driving without insurance coverage, having no valid certificate of fitness, having no registration plate affixed, driving without a helmet, and driving with no side view mirror. The DJ reportedly also failed to produce a driver's license. Meanwhile, in a post on social media yesterday, Popcorn noted that his annual Unruly Fest fundraiser concert was now in limbo as he felt he was being made a target by the St. Thomas cops. And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with other stories with the Women in Agriculture Revolving Bee project of the Jamaica Agricultural Society receiving a $500,000 boost from CIBC First Caribbean, and the Sandals Foundation completing another major round of renovations to significantly enhance the Alpha Institute's music program. But first, let's take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.